What happened to this ghost ship? This is the Mary Celeste. She was a commercial sailing ship that was launched in 1861, and in 1872, she set sail from New York to Genoa, Italy. The ship was carrying a cargo of industrial alcohol. On board, along with the captain, were his wife, Sarah, and their 2-year-old daughter, Sophia, along with 8 crew members. The Mary Celeste was eventually found abandoned at sea months later, with no sign of her crew anywhere. However, the hatch doors had strangely been fully removed, but there weren't any other signs of distress. Investigators did find something strange. Of the 1,700-odd barrels of alcohol on board, 9 were empty. Those 9 barrels were made of red oak, while the others were made of white. The difference is that white oak is watertight, whereas red oak is porous. When the ship was found, the first mate's logbook had been left open to the entry for December 25, 1872. It simply said, "All well." But then there was the captain's diary. The ship was finally brought back to the States, and an investigation into the missing crew was started. It became apparent that some strange things had been happening on board the Mary Celeste. Captain Benjamin Briggs wrote, "For 3 days we have been enveloped in a thick fog, and the smell of sulfur has been so strong that had it not been for the wind, we would have suffocated." He continued to write about the strange happenings on board the ship, including the smell of burnt flesh and the appearance of a strange mist in the engine room. Another entry read, "The stench of rotten eggs and manure was so bad that it made me sick to my stomach, and what was strange, it came from the direction of the mainmast." He then described how the air grew colder and colder until it was freezing cold. The Mary Celeste did have a shadowy past. Originally named Amazon, it was given a new name after a series of mishaps, including the sudden mysterious illness and death of its first captain. A collision with another ship in the English Channel was also reported before the name change. This is still one of the biggest maritime mysteries. Why would an experienced captain, such as Briggs, or his sailors, abandon a perfectly sound ship? Theories over the years have ranged from being attacked by pirates to an assault by a giant octopus or sea monster, while the more scientifically minded proposed an explosion caused by fumes from the 1,700 barrels of crude alcohol in the ship's hold. Yet there is no evidence to support any of this. What do you think? Thanks for watching. If you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for more.